Hey everybody, Josh here. So this is my Jackson Bite fishing kayak, which I've had for about a year and a half now. I've had many hours on it. I've caught hundreds of fish, so that was probably a good time for me to talk about the boat and how I set it up and my overall thoughts about it. To get started, this is the Jackson Bite 2020 model. It's 11 feet 6 inches long, 35 inches wide. And if you're watching this video, there's probably a good chance you're looking at getting a fishing kayak or even a Jackson Bite. So I'll probably start off by answering, like, why did I get this Jackson Bite? For one, it was a decently priced kayak. It was about $1,200 Canadian. So not expensive, not particularly cheap. Second, I wanted a kayak that was spacious, but also wasn't too heavy. So this kayak is 11 feet 6 inches long, 35 inches wide, and it's got a ton of deck space, but it's not too heavy. So the Bear kayak is 72 pounds, so I can get it on my roof rack very easily. And third, I wanted a kayak that was stable. I'm an angler first and a paddler second, so I wanted the stability for fishing while standing up, and I wanted the storage for all the stuff that I'm bringing. Now, it's not the fastest kayak, but it's also not a particularly slow kayak. I've never been out on the water and I've been like, man, I wish I had a faster kayak. If your technique is good, you got a decent paddle, and you're pushing off against the foot pedals, you're gonna get from point A to point B in cover water pretty quickly. You know, it's not gonna be a problem. About the setup, I'll start here from front to back. Front here, you gotta have shark decals, and then starting off here, this is my battery box. This is a 5 amp hour battery for my fish finder, and this is just a waterproof box I got on Amazon. Drilled a hole, which I've neatly run to my sonar, and it is attached via 3M dual lock, and this only goes on when I'm actually fishing and transport. It goes in my crate. So let's just follow this cable down to my sonar. This is a Garmin Striker 4 Plus clear view, and it's mounted with a Yak Attack lock and load mount. This is the transducer wire, and it goes down here, follows there, into the transducer compatible scupper hole. It's mounted with this plate here that I cut from a piece of Tupperware and a rod tie. And show you the bottom. There's the transducer, the big scupper hole. Jacksons generally have two, and there's your other one at the back. So that stays there permanently. It's never come off, never had an issue. And then I got some wiring here, cup holder. On this side, we have a Scotty rod holder. Now this rod holder I only use when I'm locked into an area that I'm fishing, let's say covering some pads or punching. So in areas like that, I'm constantly swapping between my paddle and my rod. So instead of me putting my rod down, switch to my paddle, I'll just shove my rod in here, switch to my paddle, and vice versa. Very efficient way to cover water. And this here is my Anchor Wizard. So if you've never heard of these are probably the neatest way to run an anchor for a kayak or a small boat. So that's just attached there, and the cable runs neatly to the chute and my 5-pound anchor. So I'll show you how this works. So you gotta just loosen it, and your anchor's fallen, and just wind it back up, and there you go. Anchor Wizard, great bit of kit, and this has about 45 feet of rope in it, so more than what I need. And just below it, we got my 3600 size boxes. We got 4 of them. These are all the tackle boxes I bring. And across here is my soft plastics and terminal tackle box. Got that. Oh, didn't talk about my paddle. Paddle is a Bending Branches Angler Pro in a matching colorway, and of course we got a leash because you don't want to drop it in the water. My thoughts on this paddle: really great paddle. Super light, super stiff, moves a ton of water, and it is a great paddle. And here we got the seat. This is the 2020 model, so this is just called the comfort seat. Very comfortable, and the seating position is not too high, not too low. Yeah, comfortable. And that's all I gotta say about it. Got a lip grip here, a plastic one, for when you inadvertently catch a muskie. And just behind the seat is my crate. This is the Flambeau kayak crate, the 2 level 1. So starting at the bottom, this is a chasm. This is where I put my boxes, tackle bag, my chute and anchor. When it's in transport, I'll just chuck them all in here. And then on top is I got some of my personal bits, and this is where my battery box and my sonar go in transport. So literally this crate holds everything. I'm not going to talk too much about my rods and reels because it's not really a rod and reel arsenal kind of video. But basically I got a 7 rod rotation for bass, and I'll pick and choose the 5 combos that I bring depending on the fishery. But these are the ones that I almost always bring. So this one is a 7.2 medium heavy X Pride with the Chronarch MGL in a 7.2 to 1 or 7.4 to 1. This is for T-rigs and open water frogs. This guy is a Shimano Zodius 7.2 heavy with a Corrado DC in a 7.4 to 1. This does one thing, and that's frogs. On this side, we have a Evergreen Combat Stick, 7-foot medium heavy. This is a glass rod, and this is paired to a Corrado K and a 6.2 to 1. And this is for anything with the treble hook, excluding poppers and jerk baits. And this is also my chatterbait rod. And behind that is one of the new style Zodius with the carbon monocoque lower handle. This is the 7.5 heavy with another Corrado K and a 7.4 to 1. And this is for punching and flipping. And then I typically only bring 1 spinning reel, or 1 spinning combo I should say. Sometimes I'll bring 2, but this one's always on the boat. This is a GLX 822 shaky head rod. I use this for shaky heads and obviously wacky rigs. And that's paired up with a Shimano Vanford 2500 non-HG. Let's talk about this. Behind my seat, we have molly pouches. So this one here, it's got my tools, so that's a scale, measuring tape, multi-tool. And the one beside is for personal bits, and this is also where I store my keys. And in terms of transport, everything off the boat comes off with the exception of these 4 items that are fixed to the rails. Everything I'll just chuck in my car. It takes about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes to set up and take down. Pretty easy. So I'll do one more walk around. This is the Jackson Bite. Awesome kayak. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I will try to answer them as best I can. Thank you.